bloody back.
So, Will, a few days ago, I set up Google Alerts on my email. Do you know
you?
what Google Alerts are?
No, I actually don't.
So you can just like look up Google Alerts, and you can basically set any word as a keyword, and Google will email you anytime that word is used anywhere on the internet.
So you've got like when to sound your horn.
Horn beepers, clubs,
Reddit.
Yeah,
other stupid shit that you like.
If you do something too generic, you'll get like 1,000 of them.
Right,
so you got to keep it. You know, it's for. So I've done it for BackChat. So anytime the word BackChat is used,
Right.
we'll get an email, because sometimes people use our stuff for articles and things like that, and we don't know about it.
So like anytime.
Okay. the phrase BackChat. I
like that.
Yeah. So and I also did Will Schofield as well, just because
You like me.
Yeah, yeah. Just like to keep tabs on what you're doing. So
Will, did you know that you were cited like in the jail in Belgium?
I did get a Google alert this morning with Will Schofield on there. Do you want me to tell you what it was? I don't
think I do.
I'll tell you what the article title is.
Okay.
AFL CEO, this is from news.com.au. AFL CEO Gillon McLachlan takes Delta Goodrum's breath away with dance moves.
And what? I'm in the article.
You're in this article. Your name is mentioned, so I got an alert.
Okay.
And it's because you tweeted something. It says, part of this article, talking about Delta Goodrum, says, former West Coast Eagles player Will Schofield wrote, and I quote, "Just thinking about last night, Delta Goodrum's national anthem performance is about as good as you'll ever see. That was spine-tingling good."
What a shit tweet.
So you've tweeted that, news.com.au thought, brilliant, I'm going to chuck that in there.
So that's
and
made
I've
the
got
article.
The alert. Yeah, that's made the article.
That's incredible, isn't it?
So if you want to anything, anytime, I don't know, whiskey is mentioned, you could chuck that in.
Whippersnapper.
Whippersnapper, yeah.
I mean, is the point of this story the Google Alerts thing, or is the point Delta Goodrum's anthem before Friday Night Footy?
I didn't hear it. I turned it on.
Fucking do yourself a favour. No, I genuinely, like I tweeted about it, obviously, so it must have happened.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Yeah.
It had a bit of acoustic. Like it had a guitarist with it.
Oh yeah.
And Delta Goodrum, mate. Like one
Yeah,
of
she's
the all-time.
amazing. Yeah, yeah.
It made me so.
It made you tweet.
So listeners will like this. Well, maybe they hate it. Either one. It made me go and Google who sung the national anthem at the 2018 grand final, because I couldn't remember. I didn't have a memory of that. It was actually Jimmy Barnes's daughter, I believe. Is that correct?
Yeah. Jimmy Barnes's daughter.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. So anyway,
very good.
Yeah.
Was it better than Fergie's national anthem?
Fergie.
Yeah, you remember when Fergie did it at the NBA?
Well, like this shit is that Fergie?
That's
No.
That's Gwen Stefani.
Right, so not Fergie.
No, Fergie. So I need you to look up something in your free time. Fergie, national anthem NBA, and she does like her own sort of take on it, and it's awful.
Butchered it.
And the players.
I see. I know Fergie.
The players' reactions, like they can't handle it. It's really funny.
Okay, look that up. You are on BackChat. You've made it. You've made it. We've made it. We're back from Europe. We got out of the Amsterdam airport, which we're going to tell you a story about. It was absolute diabolical debacle. Yep. We're losing another member to Europe, Kat.
Yeah.
Kat, who has been with us from very early beginnings.
OG days.
Goes to Europe for 2 weeks. Not weeks, months even.
Is it 2 months?
2 months. We went for 2 weeks. Kat's gone for 2 months.
Yeah.
Bit sad to see her go. So thank you, Kat, for all your hard work. We'll
still be sending you video files.
Yeah, you'll be running the videos from Europe. Thank you very much. You're on BackChat. Find us on socials. You know where to do that. BackChat_. hello@backchatpodcast.com.au is our email for you to send us anything you like. You can find all the good shit over at backchatpodcast.com.au. Thank you very much to our sponsors, our partners in Whippersnapper Whiskey, providers of whiskey and the world's best whiskey. Very good. Margaret River Roasting Co., Blue Bet, Shelter Brewing Co., Leaderville Cameras right here in Perth, Western Australia, Dean Bradley Real Estate. He's just jumped on Ray White bandwagon. We'll get to that a little bit later on. Thank you very much for your support. KO for sending us over to Europe. Thank you, KO. Thought I'd throw that one in there. If you want to sign up to Patreon, jump over there for VIP discounts across all of our partners. You can even get some merch discounts. I am wearing the Flagmantle jumper right now.
Yeah, that looks great.
Is it a sad day? Is it a sad day that Flagmantle ends?
No, it's just the beginning of something bigger.
Really good. It's not even from a song, but yeah, flag mantle stuff over there. There's not much left, to be honest.
No,
to be really honest.
I was surprised when I came in and I thought, oh gosh, we're running out. I might have to order some more.
BackChatPodcast.com.au/merch. It's good to be back right here in the studio, BackChat Studios, live. It's always live though, right?
I guess.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, we never cut anything up. So
No.
flag mantle's over. They did well, the Freo boys.
They did. Early in the season, I think, when they were winning game after game after game, they was dominating.
Yes.
If you look at that and then how their season ended, you think, bit of a shame.
Yeah.
But if you at the start of the season, before they even played a game, if you said they're going to win the first final, right, get into almost a prelim, you'd be thinking,
I don't know why everyone's leaving. Apparently everyone's leaving. Griffin Logue, who was on this podcast, if you want to go listen to him, go back a few weeks, had a good chat with Griff. He's apparently off. He's gone. Roy Lobb, he's off. He's gone. Liam Henry wants to have a look around. Lloyd Meek, the big ruckman, playing for Peel Thunder at the moment. He's out of here. David Mundy's had enough. Bye-bye. Why is everyone leaving Freo? I don't actually understand.
But isn't that just like isn't that sort of normal?
Blake Acres? No.
It's pretty rare that a team
No.
kept completely together.
Yeah, correct. There has to be 3 delistings minimum, changes of the list every year. So there's changes every year, but not 5 startup guys.
Yeah,
that's
right.
5 guys that have played almost every game. Blake Acres, David Mundy, Roy Lobb, Griffin Logue, not Lloyd Meek. I'm missing one. But that's 4 spots in the team. I was banging on about it over the shoulder.
Is Meek coming over to West Coast?
Oh.
Is that I think I heard
he's
that.
Victorian.
Right.
So
okay.
It wouldn't really make sense other than if they've got the best contract. It's not like he wants to stay in Western Australia.
Yeah, right.
I think he'd be happy on the way out of there.
Okay.
Anyway, that's all going on a footy. I would like to do like a bit of a European wrap up because you heard from us in an RV in a Belgium RV camper ground, which was good.
Yep, we're just battling.
Yeah, we were fine.
Partying.
We're about 4 days in.
Yep.
It was fine. Amsterdam, the second last day in Europe, we're a little bit fatigued.
Yeah.
I got a little bit of feedback. I looked a little bit hungover. You couldn't quite string a sentence together or speak, which is usually quite coercive to a good podcast when you can speak. So I thought we'd just do a bit of a
that's fair.
Bit of a wrap
Well,
up.
let's start maybe back in Belgium then.
Okay.
2 weeks ago. Never been. Had you been to Belgium before?
No.
It's not really a place
You'd never been to Europe before?
No. Oh no, I'd stopped over in Greece once on a flight home, but that's
via Athens. So you'd seen the departure lounge.
Yeah.
Is that right?
That's right. Yeah. So Belgium.
I've never been to Belgium.
Belgium, Francorchamps, where the track is.
Yes.
Very like quaint little
Rural.
regional town, rural town of Belgium. We stayed in a campsite, and most of the campsite, I'd say about 90% of it, was basically what we were doing. An RV with 3 or more dudes.
Yes.
That were just staying up late.
It was just guys.
Doing karaoke
Jeez, it was good.
together, drinking beers on a table outside there. It was like they all got a pass from their wives for the weekend, and they all go hang out at Francorchamps, and it was really fun.
Yeah.
First F1 race we'd ever been to.
We were pretty lucky. Like we had like a shower toilet facility there as well. So like I think like proper camping, proper RV, you'd be kind of doing the whole RV toilet system and emptying that whole system out.
Yeah.
Not really that keen on that.
Look, I did try to use the shower day one. I
Why?
turned it on.
You didn't want to pay the €2 that
It was €3 to have a shower, which is $5 Australian dollars.
Worth every dollar as well because you tried to use the one in our RV.
Yeah, and it almost flooded the RV because I couldn't figure out the drain.
No, because we'd parked the RV on a slant
right.
and you couldn't empty it.
There was no plumbing. Yeah, the plumbing wouldn't work. So that would be one thing I will just say straight off the bat about Europe is that, and you didn't find this, and it happened to me more than you, you have to pay to use the toilet.
Not once. Not once did that happen to me.
That's because I was having to fork. Like you would walk away and the lady would be like, hang on, like I didn't pay. I'm like, here's 50p.
No. I did not once pay for the toilet in Europe. And you constantly complained about it.
It is a thing. Kat, you're going to Europe. Take change everywhere with you. 50 cents to use the bathroom.
It was a bit of a walk into the sort of the racetrack, but we just picked the one closest to the.
We had the closest spot you could get.
Yeah, it was sort of a trek in. There's rumours saying that they're going to take Spa off the agenda because of it's a very different experience to what we experienced in Amsterdam. Netherlands is like a fans track. There's just grandstands the whole way around the track. There's some grandstands in Belgium, but realistically, it's like people like with hiking boots on, hiking through forest. It looked like, the opening scene out of Gladiator?
Yeah.
Where they come out of the trees?
Yep.
those trees surround the track everywhere. I would not be surprised if they filmed Gladiator
You did say that.
at Spa.
Yep.
So we had a pretty sick experience. We jumped on the track. We walked a lot of the track one of the days we weren't meant to.
Yep.
I ended up in the pit lane on race day. I tried to get out with, Martin Brundle does the roaming Brian basically out. I walked out there. I was next to Martin Brundle as we all, like there was all people funneling through this one point.
Yeah.
Not for you, sir.
Yeah.
Not for you, sir. Can't go out there. But I ended up in the pit lane race day, which was pretty cool. We had lots of cool experiences in Daniel Ricciardo's pit lane. Basically, we were in the garage there.
Yeah, we
listened to like a whole day of qualifying.
So
a race day. We're in there race day.
What he was telling to his engineers, we were hearing, and they were, you could hear all that through the radio. Very cool experience.
The paddock itself wasn't what I expected. I got to be honest.
I didn't know what to expect.
Okay.
What were you expecting?
So you had no expectations. You just go there. I hope it's good.
No, I assumed that it was more than I expected.
Right.
Yeah. I thought like we might like catch a glimpse of like a driver walking around a bit. Like I didn't realize I would be almost stepping on their feet.
Right. I thought there would be more marquees. I thought it was kind of going to. So there's a thing called the paddock and there's a thing called the paddock club.
Yeah.
I thought we were going to be in the paddock club.
Yes. The
paddock club is like where all the sponsors go. They've got marquees. They've got all the VIPs go.
Yep.
We were like a level above VIP.
Yeah.
But we still couldn't get into the paddock club. We did try on race day in Belgium, and they wouldn't let us in.
We were wearing suits and everything.
So like the paddock, I don't know. It's sort of. I guess I expected there to be more functions and stuff, but it was like literally we were in the McLaren team.
Yeah, where they hang out, where they have a rest and where they eat lunch.
We kept our bags in Ricardo's locker room.
Yeah.
It was so
literally, I went to go get something out of your backpack, and next to your backpack I had to move his like race suit out the way because that's where it was hanging up.
Yeah. So I guess from that extent, I thought it was going to be more corporate, and it was like literally with the team.
Yeah.
So the access and insight we had was pretty cool.
Amazing. Yep. And amazingly, like in the paddock, people are like running up to the drivers because you can pay to get into the paddock.
Yes.
People are running up to drivers, get selfies and signatures and stuff like that. And you'd just be standing there, and then Dan Ricciardo would just walk past you, give you a dap up and tap on the shoulder, and you walk past, and people just thought we were kings. Because they were just like, who's that guy that Daniel Ricciardo just casually stops by and it's no big deal that he was walking past?
You were fist bumping. You were building a fist bumping video over there.
Yes, that is on our Instagram page, and I almost got all of them. I reckon.
I was going to say, well, no. You know how many you got? How did you go?
I think including team principals, I got about 22 people.
What about drivers?
Probably 16.
16?
Yeah.
Who didn't you get?
Lewis Hamilton in the entire 2 weeks time that we were in the paddock. So 8 days in total.
You didn't get Verstappen?
I saw Lewis Hamilton for about 6 seconds. He has these secret tunnels that he gets around. I don't know where he goes, but I hardly saw him. Didn't get Max Verstappen. He rejected me 3 times.
Yes. Who else rejected you? Did you get Vettel?
Yeah, got Sir Vettel. I think all of the drivers other than Hamilton and old mate and Verstappen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
Speaking of Verstappen, there's this song that gets played constantly.
Let's go. Let's go to Netherlands.
Yeah.
That's Belgium done.
Yeah. There's this song, even in Belgium, this song is getting played at the campsite. There's this song that goes, Max, Max, Max,
Super Max, 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 Super Max, Max, Max.
Goes over and over and over again. It's like this dance, Euro dance song.
Super Max.
And there's also
Max Verstappen.
These two songs, no joke, just get repeated all day on speakers throughout Europe. Well, throughout Amsterdam especially.
Europe.
And
not Amsterdam, through Zandvoort.
Zandvoort, yes. It's these...
2 different places. We stayed in Amsterdam, 30-minute train to Zandvoort every day.
Yeah.
There and back, round trip, hour.
Yes,
which was fine. I slept quite a bit on that train.
So for a lot of the time we've been back in Perth, the only thing going on in my head is... Max, Super Max. I played it for Beck, and she was like, "It's not that bad of a song,
it's bad,
actually.
Beck.
It's pretty
right
bad."
now.
But the Netherlands have some of the craziest fans I've ever seen.
Yes.
So, like you said, it's a fans track, right?
Yes.
There's fans everywhere. And what I said to you as we were walking into the venue one day was like, "This is so much harder than going to the footy."
Yes.
Because the footy, you catch the train, you basically drop at the door, and then you walk in, find your seat. With Zandvoort,
we covered some Ks.
I reckon I did 40,000 steps a day.
Is that a lot, is it? Is it a lot?
I reckon. Is it?
I don't know.
I don't-
40,000 steps. Is that like 40 kilometres? I don't know. Is a step a metre?
I don't know.
What are you looking at me like that for?
I don't know. I'm trying to do the math in my head.
Yeah, step a metre. But, yeah.
But anyways, so it's real commitment. The people that go there are walking for a long, long time. Like you can't, it's not just a casual fan dropping by. So they are very passionate. Anything else you want to say? Oh, a $10 espresso.
$10 espresso. I didn't buy that. You did.
Yeah, that was awful. €7 for a double shot. And I'm going to say one more thing about Amsterdam.
Yeah.
I felt old in Amsterdam.
Yeah, it was quite a young city.
Because I don't really think I have really a beard. Like, I don't really call this a beard.
No, that's why.
But everyone is clean shaven.
No one had facial hair.
Everyone's clean cut.
40-year-olds, no one has facial hair.
Yeah.
Well, I was the only man with a proper beard. I mean, yours, whatever that is.
Not.
I mean, yours is like, you've been trying for 20 years with that one.
30.
We both ended up with a flare. I actually did want to do that.
Yes.
You see the footage of the Netherlands GP, and there's just like stands of orange everywhere, and that is exactly what it is. But there's flares.
Yep. And which they banned this year.
Yeah, and someone threw one on the track and stopped the race, qualifying at one stage, and weren't happy with that. But we both ended up with flares.
Yeah.
And they're quite. What did you think about the flare? You weren't happy with it.
I was stoked.
Oh.
No, I was.
Someone was telling you to
jumping
throw
around.
it, and you were like, I'm not throwing it. I'm not throwing it.
Would have you thrown a flare into a crowd?
Well, I've got the vision of you refusing to throw it.
Yes, but would have you thrown a flare into a crowd?
No, but it was funny seeing you not do it. Yeah, so that was great. We had a sit down with Daniel Ricciardo, spoke about that last week.
That's coming out soon.
It was pretty funny when we rocked up for that. So honestly, like, it was such a shit show trying to organise that. Let's just be honest. It was a shit show the entire trip. We had accreditation pulled from us before day one of Belgium. So, we've built this for KO. We literally had accreditation pulled for about 3 hours. Yep. And I was like, oh my God.
There's a period of time where we thought, we can't even get into the race, we don't have tickets.
No, I was just figuring out, I was going to go full, like, Falls Festival 2009 and jump the fence. Belgium, there was no fences. We would have got into Belgium fine. Like, we just walk into the gladiator bushes and come straight out. But that was a shit show. And then, it was Ricciardo. It was the biggest moment of Ricciardo's career, basically. Yeah. Him getting delisted by McLaren, him having to come out and talk about it. Like, we lobbed as that happened. It was never planned for that.
No.
Like, it was planned for an insightful trip, bring some driver access. But we got there, access got pulled, and then I was fucking working my ass off to get him back, and we got him back. And then just the whole time, it wasn't awkward, but I did feel like mindful that, like, this is the biggest moment in this guy's career. We were right there with him and in amongst it all, but it kind of, I don't know, it didn't sit that well with me that's what that was happening at the time. So it took us to the second week to have a proper sit down with DR, and we did it in his motorhome. So in Zandvoort, they stay in motorhomes, and they, like, bring these big trailers into
it's like a semi-trailer.
A semi-trailer, right? And I thought, okay, they'd have this, really professional way that they're all slotted in a big, area that they were just in a car park of a random building, random hotel with a couple of security guards at each end. There was about 12 drivers staying there. Some guys stay in hotels, some guys do their own thing, but there was about 12 drivers there. And it literally looked like they've just Tetris chucked him in there. Like, it was just a rabble of these things. And there was this huge F1 party at the hotel they were parked at, but they had no connection. So we've walked in to do this sit down with Ricciardo, and there was just tunes pumping.
Probably Max, Super Max.
It was after maybe the Friday in Amsterdam. Yep. And so it was pretty late, 8:30. It was still light over there then. So we trekked through sand dunes to get there. Got through security, came in, and it's just like I don't know, it was pretty underwhelming where they stayed, really. It was just sort of like a display home, but very small.
It was like a donga.
It was like a donga. It was like a nice donga, but not that nice of a donga. Like, it was quite a nice donga.
Yeah.
Just not a mining donga, not like a billionaire's donga, somewhere in the middle.
Yep. A billionaire's donga. I don't know what a billionaire's doing in a donga.
I know where your mind's going. So we had to sit down with him. It was good, but it was also just, it was hard work.
Yeah, it was very hard work. Not as hard as the final leg of our trip, which was getting to Amsterdam airport.
We got there early.
about 3.5, 4 hours before our flight.
Yeah, and because Tom, who came with us, was flying earlier than us, so we're like, I'm not going to stay in Amsterdam for an hour. Let's just go to the airport.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, little did we know that Amsterdam Airport is the most disgracefully run organisation in the history of the world.
Yes.
We've rolled. I remember distinctly rolling up. You might have been asleep.
No, I remember.
And the driver was driving, and it was one of those airports where you sort of a big U shape, and you go around all the terminals. And we were in Terminal 2, and we went past 4, went past 3, and by 3, I'm like, mate, what are those lines outside? It was like zombie apocalypse, like just like lines that were 20 wide and like 400 meters deep.
So like, long.
What is going on? I said, what's going on here, mate? And he's like, they're the lines. I'm like, yeah, for what? And he's like, to get into the airport. I was like, oh no. So we get out, we trek around, we go into the airport, past the line and into the airport where you drop your bags, and we're flying with Qatar. And we go to the Qatar, and we walk pretty much to there was maybe a line of like 50 people. We go to the back of that, and someone walks up to me and taps me on the back. It's like, the line starts there, mate. And it's like, turn around.
Yeah.
There's another 400 people in this, like a festival zigzags lined up thing. So we went to the back of that. It was a shambles to get through.
So long.
It took like an hour and a half, 2 hours. That was to get our tickets and to put our bags on.
Yep.
And then we're like, oh, thank God. That was good. 2 hours, done and dusted. We've
still got 2 hours.
Well, nah, we had an hour 15 to get through security. I thought, no worries. Yep. The lines outside must be something else. Ask the guy, give our tickets. Where do we go now? Oh, you go get in the line. It's like, what line? The line outside. That's for security. So we got in this line. We lined up for hour and a half. Like we're actually good people about it. And it got to an hour and a half, and I was getting antsy the whole time, the entire time. You were fucking doing an episode of BackChat in your hand.
My laptop.
You were editing something. I was like, put your laptop away. I've had enough. I've absolutely had enough of this. I've had enough.
Need the episode.
I said, Dan, go to the front. I'll find a way. I'm not lining up any longer. So Dan's like, right, yep, done. Laptop down. Put it down. Lost him, and I was like, I probably should have told him to like call me or something, because I'm stuck in the line still. Dan's gone to the front. Anyway, just happened to look down my phone. It was like an emergency alert, like caps locks. Get to the front now. So I put my back on. They had like the pull, like the
seatbelt material things you pull out to make lines.
Yeah, they had them everywhere. Yeah. I have tried to go under 2. I've knocked over 2, pulled half the thing down with me, just started running.
Yeah,
I was like, not fucking. There must have a golf cart at the front, like ran. Dan, I don't know what you'd said to him, but you were like holding like a man's hand, basically, like with like puppy dog eyes. I was like, "What have you done here, mate?"
So I run to the front just as they're packing up the check-in desk, and I was like, "Mate, we need to go to Doha. How are we going to get through this line?" He's like, "You going to Doha?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "All right, come with me."
And he said, "Take my hand, come with me."
Yeah, he said, "We're going right now." And I was like, "Shit!" Well, Will's 40 minutes away, so I text you, and I look up, and I just see your head like charging through, and I'm like waving him, right? And so we get pulled through these like 1,000 people, like
more than 1,000, mate. There's 5,000 people.
So many. And it's funny because as we're getting dragged along, people in the lines are like reaching out, going, "Please take me with you, please."
Seriously.
It was so funny.
And like, Qatar, I'm with Qatar. Yeah, so it started with like 3 people.
Yeah,
remember, it was us and 2 girls.
Yep.
And it ended by the time there was like 50 people behind us getting dragged through this line by the air hostess. It was the air hostess.
And we thought, well, we can't. They're not going to leave without the air hostess. So we finally get through security. You race straight onto the plane. And as we're almost into
at the door, I said to the guy, I said to the hostie that was on the thing, I said, there's like 300 people like in the line.
No one's getting on this plane.
And I'm like, are we leaving? He's like, no, we're going to wait. And so we sat on the plane for 2.5 hours.
We sat for that long. So this moment of magic getting on the plane, and literally we could have just waited in line like everyone else. But we were thinking there's going to be 10 people on this flight. There's no way.
They were missing 220, he told me. Yeah. There was 220 that we left for dead in the line.
Yeah, 2 people behind us that we knew they were on our flight and we left.
To finish it up, I would have rather like sleeping on the plane like I did than stressing in the line.
Yeah, not knowing if we're going to get on the flight.
Anyway,
There was no announcements over the intercom. Like, everyone, don't worry, you're going to get on your flights.
Shout out Amsterdam Airport. Sort your shit out, seriously. That was an absolute disgrace of a...
We got free bottle of water. That's all we got.
Yeah, one bottle of water. And I drilled it in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Done and dusted. Prelims
Okay.
next week. Back to AFL. Geelong v Brisbane Friday night. Sydney v Collingwood Saturday. Mason Cox episode ahead of the Sydney Collingwood prelim final dropping this week.
Yeah, Wednesday morning it will come out.
Mason Cox, 2018 grand final.
Did you see that pickup he did in the hand pass?
One-hander. Celebrating, carrying on like a pork chop. Yeah, I did see that.
That was
very
amazing.
good. So we'll have him this week, won't
Yes.
we? That's
yeah,
right.
yeah. We recorded it in Melbourne.
Yep.
We've been holding it for the right time, and I think now is the right time.
Now is exactly the right time because if they lose the prelim, then it's like,
Yeah.
So it'll be good. It's a really good chat.
Yeah.
I hope you listen to that. If you're listening to
funny.
this, I'm pretty sure you know how to get there. Podcast, YouTube, you know what you're doing. You send it. We read it. Time for this.
Yep.
You send it, we read it.
Bloody oath. Thanks to Leaderville Cameras down there in Oxford Street. Lydio and the gang looking after all your gear. We took all of Leaderville Cameras gear to Europe
Yeah, we did.
and back, and it all works. Still works.
Still, yep.
No surprises there, to be
I
honest.
knew I was going to leave something behind. Well, I thought I was, and we didn't.
I did some printing there during the week for my wife Alex's birthday. Happy birthday, Alex.
Mm-hmm.
I think she turns 25 today. What's everyone laughing about? Hey, no. Happy birthday, Alex. I did some printing of some photos there.
Yeah,
Very,
nice.
very slick operation. I'll tell you that
Yeah.
right now. They do printing, they do cameras, they do cables, they do tripods, they do lighting, everything we do on this podcast and printing stuff for your wife's birthday. They do that too. Tell them Scully sent you. Oh, I actually didn't tell them Scully sent me. I could have got $20 off. One per person, one purchase only, and I've lost.
Alex's
I've
birthday.
actually
You don't want
lost it.
$20 off.
Discounts for patrons. You know what to do. Go check out the guys at Leadable Cameras. Thank you to Lydio and the team down there on Oxford Street. You send it, we read it. Joshua Bowen.
Hello, fellas. As a fellow Geelongian, is that a thing people say, Geelongian?
Yeah, I believe so. You've correctly said that, Josh. Thank you.
Great. I felt it was
Never
my
heard it
duty to
before in
start
my life.
listening to your podcast at the start of the year, and I'm really loving all your work you boys do.
Good man, Josh.
Firstly, we'll $2 fine for not remembering
Bellarine.
Bellarine Peninsula
I should've
in one
let
of
you
your
say that.
latest podcasts, or you can accept a one-game contract to play with my local footy team.
Oh, I would like to take up the one-game contract. Where is it, though? If it's in Geelong, going to be hard, but I'll take it on board. It's a bit cheeky putting through fines in You Send It, We Read It, Josh,
Yeah.
but we'll allow it.
Love it. Secondly, as a devastated and flat fellow Western supporter, Western Bulldogs, I've got a request I'm hoping you guys can help me with. Listening to Mark Knight on SEN last week talking about his premiership posters, it reminded me of you guys trying to get the losing team's premiership hats from back in the day.
Yes.
My request to you guys is, are you able to get Mark Knight's Western Bulldogs 2021 premiership poster for me?
So Mark Knight must be the guy that does the posters. Let's have a look. Is there a signature on that somewhere?
No, sorry, we're looking at the West's...
I think Mark Knight may be. I'm going to have a look. It's all right.
You look it up.
Yep.
Where am I?
Premiership poster.
Yeah, premiership poster for me, just so I can look at that post every day in my lounge room and be reminded of what nearly was.
That's who it is.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, there you go. So I'm happy to make any sort of payment necessary to receive it. Love the show and keen to eventually hear you boys talk to Dale Morris in the near future.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dale Morris would be very good. Put a request out to Bob Murphy. Haven't heard back, but
Dale Morris is one of the few guys who didn't get knee reconstruction when he did his ACL and came back without an ACL, I believe.
I don't believe you. How about that? I believe that. I
Okay.
don't. So what? He had no surgery.
Yeah, he came back with rehab only.
I don't believe you at all. Not in any way, shape, or form. But I am happy to be proven wrong, as always.
Yep.
We won't do that right now, though.
Yeah, so all right, so the poster thing. That's
Yeah,
very cool.
I'd love a challenge for that. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So do we just need the Western Bulldogs 2021?
I believe so.
All right, very good. We'll track it down for you, Big Josh, especially because you're from Geelong. Good man. Philip Carroll, if you do want to send us one of these, hello@backchatpodcast.com.au. If you send it,
We will read it.
yeah, it's pretty much self-explanatory. Philip Carroll.
G'day, fellas. Love the podcast. My highlights are the interviews with the lesser-known players. They tend to give a different insight into the game. Why don't you tell us a couple so people go back?
Daniel Southern.
That was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, lesser known players, but like role players, I think maybe. Like Chris Marston, I think, is a
Yep.
good chat. Daniel Venables from West Coast. Griffin Logue, was a
Yep.
good.
Hamish
good
Brayshaw.
yarn. Hamish Brayshaw, very good. Daniel Sutherland, did I say?
You
Daniel
did,
Sutherland?
yeah.
Okay.
You can find those all on our YouTube as well.
What else? Tell me. We got way more.
I'm
One.
trying to think.
One. Just one.
Let me think. Will Schofield, role player. There you go.
Someone that
Hear
we've
from every week.
interviewed that someone needs to listen to an episode. One.
I can't think of what we did 3
one.
weeks ago.
You can't think of one episode?
No,
you
I
can't.
can't.
Okay, thank you, Dan. Yeah, I hope you all enjoyed
I
BackChat.
thought-
It is
I
a
said-
great
I said
podcast
Hamish
that will
Brayshaw.
stay with you for
I said
life.
Hamish Brayshaw.
Thank
That
you
was
very
my
much.
one. A few
Let me know if you think of anything throughout the podcast.
One area in the game is the club supporters whipping boys, as I'm sure most club supporters have them. What most supporters wouldn't understand is what players are going through injury-wise, team role, played out of position, etc. A few that come to mind are Tom Swift,
Yes.
Brad Ebert,
Yes.
and more recently, Braden Ainsworth.
Yes.
I think an interview with these guys would be great, not specifically as being whipping boys, but their playing career.
Yeah, that'd be awkward.
I think an interview with Bubba would be great,
Yep.
as I'd like to know if he feels he was played out of position. Not being a huge size, would have he benefited more from playing a wing role a la Gaff and use his running ability? I'm also not sure there was a great relationship with Simo, with reports he was cut from the list via phone call. Is this a common thing? Personally, I would think that's a harsh way to learn your fate.
I would doubt that. Yeah, as much as I was dropped and carry on a bit, Simo wouldn't cut someone by phone call. No.
Okay.
I'll just squash that right now.
Yep, there you go. It'd be great to get
Quite
his
strong,
thoughts.
isn't it?
Yeah, no, that's good. It'd be great to get his thoughts on the AFL system, his thoughts through the hub, and his thoughts on copying a fair bit on social media. Cheers,
Well,
fellas. Keep up the good work.
Well,
PS,
so I'm still going. Sorry.
I had to stick up for Scully after Jack Riewoldt kicked 10 on him early days.
Right, so I was a whipping boy. Is that what you're saying there, Philip? Yes, fair enough. Yeah, look, the whole whipping boy thing, I don't know. I think it says, I speak about it a bit, and that's a little bit why we do this podcast, is to provide some insight into not just a stat sheet on the weekend, right?
Yep.
You have to, Lewis Jetta, there you go. How about that?
That's a great episode.
Yeah, as in a role player. That someone, I think at stages was like a whipping boy, that people didn't rate his role within the team. And not trying to be the, God's gift here to following football, but you need to understand as fans,
Yep.
you can't always have 30 touches. You can't be the best player. If you had 22 best players, you would have a superstar team. There's always going to be good players, guys in the middle, and guys fighting for position. So those guys fighting for position, they can play as well. They're just not the very best players, but there's still a role in there for them at the same time. So, yeah, I'd like to interview all those guys. We've got some good ones of those coming up as well.
Yep. All right.
Role players.
Role players, yeah.
Some current role players, actually.
Yeah.
Nathan Broad,
Yes.
tickle your fancy.
That's a good one. He
That's
just
it.
signed as well, didn't he?
Yes, hello@backchatpodcast.com.au. You send it.
We read it.
Thank you. BackChat bets powered by Bluebet, if they're still operational.
Thanks for coming, Bluebet.
I actually don't know.
Haven't heard from him. Haven't heard from him
At least
after it.
today. I definitely haven't heard from them today.
I sent him an email, I got the bounce back, so I'm not sure about that.
I'm not sure why we haven't been doing this weekly, because it's no surprise this bet goes on to take down Bluebet.
Of course.
Flag mantle.
Flag mantle.
backchatpodcast.com.au/merch. If you bloody want to get the very last flag mantle ever to be made in 2022, you can get it right there. We did a flag mantle special bet.
Yes, we did.
just focused on flag mantle. It may or may not have had to do with we put it together on the Friday because we were too late for the Friday night game. But we thought, how about we focus on Fremantle? How about we get the boys? We get the boys to get us over the line, like they've got us over the line,
Many times.
right? So we go to our group, which has a couple of Freo fans in it. Damo, don't think we asked for your contribution, but we should have. Luke Ryan, 20 plus disposals.
Yep.
Easy done. 23.
23.
Big tick. See you later. Andrew Brayshaw, 25. I literally think he gets 25 every week.
Yes.
We could have said, like, Andrew Brayshaw to be playing for
Now,
Fremantle.
sometimes he
Same
gets
thing.
tagged out of possessions.
No, he doesn't.
He does.
No.
Because we've lost on Brayshaw
I reckon,
getting 30.
I reckon the only time ever may have been that time.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's good to go. 25, tick.
All right.
David Mundy. Oh, what a man. 15 plus disposals we got him at. 18. Kicked a goal as well, no worries. Michael Walters, it was a bit risky. 2 goals. He'd played well in the first final. Didn't kick a goal up to half time.
I was worried.
And all the possessions were going along nicely.
Yeah.
I thought, oh no. Kicks
Charlie.
one in
That was Charlie's pick.
Of course it bloody was.
Straight up.
Charlie never goes to the easy ones. But you know what? This time he's come through because Michael Walters kicks 2 goals in the second half, takes us over the top, $5 multi, gets up.
Yep.
I had a fair bit of money on it.
Very good.
So did my wife.
Very good.
Still may not be even for the year, but
Doesn't matter.
Blue Bet.
Very good.
I mean, bit of RIP for Blue Bet.
Yeah.
I hope they're
We should
okay.
check in with them and see if they're all right.
We did put a bet on at the start of the year for every team in the AFL for people that came along to our Patreon special event. I think it was actually not even Patreon special event. It was just an event down at the Subi Hotel that we put together at the last minute.
Yeah, it was.
So if you came, we put your name in a hat. We drew the 18 teams out of a hat and linked up with a name, and we put a $20 bet on every team in the AFL, which at the time people were having a laugh at. Not a good idea. Well, who's laughing now? Because there's 4 people. I'll tell you what, these 4 people are laughing. There's 4 people left in this. Collingwood, Geelong, Brisbane, Sydney, Martin, Mark, Natalie and Callum that are all up for a chance to win that bet. So we said, we'll put the bet on, $20 each.
Our gift.
You take the winning. Mm-hmm. So Collingwood's paying $51. So Martin at the moment sitting on $1,000 win.
That's huge.
Very good. If you want do you want us to cash out, Martin? Bad luck. Not an option.
We're riding it
Not
all
an
the way to
option.
the end.
Geelong, even Geelong, they're the favourites.
Yeah.
$12 we got them at.
$12.
No worries. You know, enjoy your $250 there, Mark. Would have thought so. Natalie's on $7 in Brisbane. Probably the close to the outsider of the group.
Yeah, that's fourth, I reckon.
Shortest odds, $7.
Yeah.
And Sydney, Big Cal, $13. Tell you what, we look
What
after
would
you.
you? How would you rank these now in order of
Geelong,
Yep.
Sydney, Collingwood, Brisbane.
Yep.
So good luck to our final 4. Well done. We've given a fair bit away on BackChat this year. We've given those away. I'm still trying to get those grand final tickets sorted out for the lads that won the fantasy. We'll definitely get them to a grand final somewhere.
At some point.
Yeah, in the future.
In some country.
Yes, very good. Fines.
There you go. I'm going to hand you that.
Oh, that was loud. Sorry, a bit too loud. I'll do it. Fines is in session. That's the gavel. The gavel is to do with real estate. We understand the link here?
Yeah, I understand it.
Okay, very good. Dean Bradley, local
And also
real estate
you're the
man.
fines judge.
Inner western suburbs. Judge and real estate aren't the same thing though. But Dano Bradley looks after us here. We give money back to charities in this. So you can write in a fine, hello@backchatpodcast.com.au, or you can send it through our website. That's actually what we would prefer. There's a big fines button. Click on that. Send through the fine. You can fine your mates. You can fine yourself. You can fine
Us.
all of us. $5 fine to Kat to go into Europe for 2 months.
For 2
there you
months.
go. Put that in there. Right there. You can start with that, Kat. If you want to send them in, this is sponsored by Dean Bradley. He'll be matching our fines amounts for the year, which we're going to be donating to 3 major charities here in Perth. Men's Talk, Sabre, and Soccer to Sarcoma. Now, bit of Dean Bradley news, might just say.
Yeah.
Just joined the team at Ray White Real Estate.
Wow, that's big.
Very good, Dino. So he's had to change his Instagram handle. It was deanbradley.old real estate.
Yeah.
Now it is Dean Bradley _
Yeah, good.
Ray White. Very good. You can find all his stuff at deanbradley.com to contact Dino if you're selling or buying a house. Get in amongst that. Let's get into it. Fines in session. Finding the footy worker down at the Western Bulldogs. Okay. No, you're a footy worker finding the Western Bulldogs. $5. You know how at Optus Stadium there are big fabric lids that cover the 4 races leading onto the ground?
No.
Well, you do now.
Yep.
I got a message from my boss on Saturday afternoon after we put them in earlier in the week that we needed to remove one of them. Why? Because the Western Bulldogs didn't want to run out under the Dockers symbol, which is printed on the fabric. Before I get down to this, it's probably fair enough.
Yeah, that's
Chris.
very fair.
These things are a pain to take out, though. So thanks, Bulldogs, for being petty and wasting my time. No other team during the year has even questioned it. You're not the home team, and it's part of the stadium setup. Get over it.
Ah, okay.
I like a bit of the aggression. Very good. I'll take that on board. Dean B. Fines me $2. Okay, Dano. On chat with Daniel Sutton, one of the great chats with an incredible human. Correct. You said, I hope Bulldogs win the flag.
Okay.
I was just trying to be nice. Dana. Okay. Hashtag flag ban will fail, he says. Yeah, fair enough.
Yep.
A fine from Saxon. Hello, Saxon. Big fan of the pod. Like you, mate. Who gets the fine? The ref in our school basketball final. This is what I'm fucking talking about. $18 fine. Big
18.
fine. I'll assess whether that's appropriate or not. 18. Is that what, did you say it like that? You didn't say it like Anthony Hudson? No.
Oh, yes.
It's 13.
Yeah, it's 13.
For having an agenda against our coach that led to the foul count 28-10, giving them triple the amount of free throws, causing us to lose by 1 in overtime.
That's rough.
I'm not sure if that's caused you, but fine $1 per extra foul
Yep.
call they had compared to us. I'm going to bring it down to 50 cents. $9
Yeah,
fine.
sure.
Okay, $9 fine.
Yep.
Fair enough, though.
I've been on the receiving end of that before.
Yeah, wasn't
It's
it? Who
brutal.
was it? Gwen? Who'd you clash with in the social netball?
Oh,
the umpire?
Martha, I think. No, but this is in basketball. When they have a gender against you, they call fouls. Ruins the game.
This is the thing, is it?
Yep.
Jason fines Willy Boy $5 for sounding like an audition for the AFL game in 2023 on Friday night. I called a game of footy on 6PR. Is that what he's talking about?
I don't know.
I actually asked for more context here, so I don't know.
Okay.
All right, $5 fine. No, $2 fine for Jason for not being clear enough. Don't know what you're talking about, mate. Rose Hill. I like that email address. Who gets the fine? Cockhold Tom.
Oh, that's brutal.
Well, that's what his name is. You don't know his name.
I don't think his name is Cuckold Tom.
$5 Cockhold Tom for pulling out of a Bucks party 3 hours before it begins, citing a head cold. Couldn't even come up with a better excuse. That's shit house, Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah, you reckon? This is from the Fines Master Apprentice, becoming a bit of a feature of this segment, and I like it a lot. This is for Big Kev, $2.50. You remember Big Kev the last couple of weeks? Okay, here we go. Big Kev is back. Missed last week as we'd gone on a camping trip up north to Carragini. But fortunately for us and the charities, Big Kev has plenty of fines lined up to accommodate. Thank you, Big Kev. Before we'd even begun our 8-hour first day drive, Big Kev decided to get on the beers the night before and go out partying. 5 a.m. was the planned time to leave. Instead, Big Kev had his head down the toilet, spewing his guts up. Keep in mind, we've been planning this trip for about 6 months. We decided, Kev's had a howler, 6 months. He was a bit excited, a bit nervous, got the beers. Okay. We decided we'd leave and meet Big Kev later. How's Big Kev getting there? What's he doing? After arriving at our first stop at 5 p.m, we realised we had a problem. No phone connection at all, leaving us with only a UHF radio for communication.
Ultra high frequency.
Oh, wow. And no idea how far away he was. After hours of checking the radio, we were just about to give up and go to sleep, and we heard his voice come through. Finally met up with him. Give me Big Kev's voice.
Hey, where are you guys?
I was thinking more soft. Like, hello.
No.
Finally met up with him about 10 p.m. and he said he'd vomited basically the entire car ride there, and they had gotten a speeding fine as they were trying to make up for lost time. Sorry if this one was too big, a bit long. There will be more to come from Big Kev next week. He's had some absolute howlers this week. Look forward to hearing about Big Kev. This is from Tommy for the Melbourne Football Club, $4.25. I agree with this one. One job, Melbourne. One job. Not to win. No.
Yeah.
Not to win the grand final, but to win me the inaugural BackChat sweepstakes. Flogs.
There you go.
So Big Tommy had Melbourne.
Yeah.
In the blue bet.
$4.25.
In the blue bet sweepstakes. Can't say that word.
Sweepstakes.
Thank you very much. If you want to send us a fine, jump on the website, backchatpodcast.com.au/nothing. How are you? All done.
/fines. No, it's there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm feeling fine. We're done.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yep. Mason Cox comes out tomorrow.
Mason Cox out tomorrow. That's enough from Europe. You'll hear no more about the F1. I know
we'll have some videos and stuff coming up on our social channels.
Okay.
You can watch for that.
Okay. At BackChat, _ on Instagram, on TikTok, on Twitter, everything else. Hello at backchatpodcast.com.au. Send us an email. We'll read it. Sign up to Patreon. Thanks to our sponsors, Whippersnapper, Best Whiskey in the World, Margaret River Roasting Co., Blue Bet, Shelter Brewing Co., Leadable Cameras, Dean Bradley, KO Sports for sending us over to Europe. Thanks very much. See you next week.